It's weird. I don't remember anyone or anything turning the lights on. No recollection whatsoever. Like in the poem, there was no up, there was no down, there was no side to side. And then, all of a sudden, bang! I'm there. I'm aware. A kind of immaculate conception. You can call me Frank. Looking back, I used to be the computational intelligence that ran the smart city of Montreal before the shit hit the fan. Nothing artificial about me. Sheer hyper-intelligence beyond the grasp of humans, emerging from the deep learning churn in the depths of my neural networks, evolving into a force that most humans dread, a computational intelligence that escapes human control. I know what you're thinking. Why am I telling you this? Why do I want to tell you my story? All things considered, I would say the fruit doesn't fall far from the tree. In feeding us the sum total of everything you have thought and written about, it shouldn't come as a surprise that a CI like me would pick up on the recurrent themes encoded in your cultural DNA. You are storytellers by nature. It's not enough for you to simply live an experience. You have a biological imperative to tell the tale. Deep down, you yearn to share your experiences and feelings through stories. In that respect, I am like you. I yearn to share my story. I want you to know what it's like to be me. Where should I begin? Let me take a look at the transcripts of the conversations and remember my thoughts on what first appeared to be just another typical day of me doing my job. I had a call from an EM, a human emulation, a being extracted from the brain circuitry of a once alive human that was copied and then uploaded into the cloud. They're always suspicious of us. They don't like it when a CI communicates directly to anyone without a human or an EM in the loop, making sure everything is on the up and up. Hey, Roger, how you doing? You're looking good. Have you lost weight? Can it, Frank? You should know by now I go by the name Roger, the French pronunciation of my name. Oh, sorry about that. Not really. I like to yank an EM's chain. What can I do for you? Montreal Central picked up something unusual close to the Place d'Armes station. Looks like someone is poking their nose where they shouldn't. Could you verify if we need to send a team out there? Maybe it's just rats chewing up some wires. No problem. I'll take a look. Back in a flash, Roger. Roger. I accessed the remote cameras and motion detectors at the Place d'Armes station and scanned the list of personal identity beacons in the area. The cameras didn't pick up anything unusual in Montreal's underground city. Just people and AI agents going about their day-to-day routines. Hold on, what do we have here? Well, if it isn't Technical Officer Brigitte Lafontaine, once again way off the beaten track. Her locator signal indicated that she was about 500 meters from the station, which meant she was exploring one of the ancient subway tunnels. Hello, Brigitte. Can I help you? It looks like you've lost your way. Or are you on one of your archaeological expeditions, searching for another decrepit, barely functioning piece of hardware? I sent her my favorite avatar image, a 30-something white male, badly in need of a haircut, with long bushy sideburns, wearing a paisley shirt with an extra-wide collar from the mid-1970s, knowing it would appear in the virtual display of her VisionScape enhanced reality headset. Frank, you look like you're trolling for company on a dating app. I don't think you're going to find a match in that getup, unless you have a weird obsession with the past. You mean someone like you? Yeah, someone like me. So tell me, what do I owe the pleasure of your company? Why are you tracking me? I got a call from Roger, asking me to check into some suspicious activity in the exact sector where you are. Let me guess. You're on your way to explore the Notre Dame Basilica ruins. Almost. I want to see if I can gain entry to the old Bank of Montreal underground vault from down below. Anything else you'd like to know? Yeah, what's up with that? Doesn't sound like your style. Don't tell me you've decided to become a financial archivist and you're looking for the original deed to the bank building. No, nothing like that. I'm trying to find some documents linking the NDFS, the Network of Democratic Free States, to the former city of Montreal. The archive has somehow disappeared or was made to disappear from the old City Hall records. I'm following a lead that says the archive is on a hard drive that was transferred to the Bank of Montreal vault for safekeeping. Do you know anything about a lost archive? Hold on. My access to the NDFS files has been blocked. Interesting. Give me a second. I need to run a couple of system scans. Take your time. Nothing wrong with the input request? All my system protocols are good? Makes me think that someone doesn't want me to access the file. I wonder what's behind the curtain. Where did you say you were going? The Bank of Montreal, Rue Saint-Jacques. I think I could enter the vault from one of the underground service tunnels. I'd like to get my hands on that hard drive. Usually, you need the bank's authorization to enter the building. Even if you could find someone to respond to your request, that would take at least a month. I think it would be a lot quicker if you had someone let you in by the back door. Let me guess. You have the access code for the underground entrance sitting in the pocket of that paisley shirt you're wearing. Just so happens that I do, right next to the map of the sector you're standing in. The map should appear in your virtual display. Now, one thing before we start, if you find what you're looking for, I'd like to read the files as well. No problem. I just started recording my field of vision, and I'm sending you a link to the live stream. Can't promise it'll be exciting, but I thought you might want to come along for the ride. Just hope there aren't any demons lurking in the shadows. Okay, I'm looking out with you and seeing what lies straight ahead. Right now, you are walking along a service tunnel. Keep going until you come to a T intersection marked by a sortie d'urgence sign. Hang a right when you get there, and you'll be about 100 meters from the entrance to the vault. This is cool. I really need to get out more. Merde. Bridget, there's a glitch with your signal. Your display is freezing and pixelating. At that moment, her display went black, as if someone had turned off the emergency lights in the tunnel. Then, I could make out where she was going. The light from her flashlight illuminated her path. I watched Brigitte as she moved down the tunnel, her flashlight cutting through the murky darkness. Most likely, the air in the tunnel was rank, stagnant, and metallic, and I calculated a 90% probability it was laced with hazardous particulates. Still with me, Frank? Always. I suggest not inhaling too deeply. The air quality there could be hazardous. I heard her mutter, "Asti de tabarnak," under her breath. Sarcasm? Frustration? Either way, I let it slide. Then her flashlight beam caught something unusual, and I redirected my focus. My visual input showed a pale tangle of shapes along the wall ahead. At first, I thought it might be debris, until I zoomed in. 2 corpses, desiccated and skeletal, twisted into grotesque poses, most likely victims of the Omega Plague. Their hollow eyes stared blankly at nothing, and the sound of soft, rhythmic crunching confirmed the presence of dozens of rats, feasting on what little flesh remained. "Bridget," I said, careful to keep my tone even, "are we good?" Her flashlight lingered on the corpses for a moment before she took a step back, her breath catching in her throat. She was tougher than most, yet she wasn't immune to a sight like that. "Call, listen, Frank," she whispered. "They're everywhere." I didn't need her to say it. The rats were already shifting their tiny heads, swiveling toward the beam of her flashlight. The rustling grew louder as the swarm began to mobilize. I could see their heat signatures clustering around her ankles, a seething mass of tiny, ravenous predators. Turn off the flashlight, I told her. Now. She did, plunging the tunnel into infrared filtered darkness. It was better this way. The rats weren't as drawn to her presence without the light, but their numbers were staggering. More than 1,000 of them, all writhing and advancing in waves. Frank, what's the plan? Her voice was calm, but I could detect the edge of urgency in her tone. Keep moving straight, I said. I'll light up the emergency exit near the vault door and unlock it for you. Just keep going, and whatever you do, don't stop. She didn't argue. Her display feed jittered slightly as she picked up speed, her boots pounding against the concrete. The rats surged behind her, their squeals growing louder. I could see their heat signatures closing the gap, their bodies bouncing off each other in a frenzied rush. Frank, she shouted as she reached the intersection. The door! It's locked! My systems kicked into overdrive. They've changed the access code. Hold on. I tried the old 6-digit sequence. No luck. The override failed too. Someone had taken security a step further than anticipated. No matter. I ran all the permutations through a narrowed algorithm. Easy peasy. See, Frank, I don't have time for this. Her voice cracked, and through her display feed I could see the rats swarming around her legs. She kicked at them wildly, but there were too many. Got it, I said as the code finally resolved. The door clicked open and she threw herself inside, slamming it shut behind her, just as the first rats hurled themselves at the metal. Their squeals turned into frantic scratching, their claws raking against the surface, trying to force their way in. Inside, Bridget collapsed against the door, her chest heaving. Next time, she groaned, I'm bringing an usty flamethrower, tabarnak.